Hey, you're now tuned in to Underdog Talk. I'm your host, Eric Jones Jr., the underdog with the heroic heart, and I have conversations with successful underdogs. And today we have Miss Raychell Penns. How are you doing today?
I am great. I am great. I'm glad to be on the show.
I'm glad that you are. I was on your show, so, return the favor, get you on my show. We had a good time on yours, so I know we're going to have a good time on mine. Mine's a little more got a little more ratchet, a little more four letter words here and there, but it's part of life. Um, I'm sorry. Before we get into today's conversation, today's episode is brought to you by Christian Dewan. That's me and my son's clothing line. We have t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. What else is it? T-shirts. Yeah, that's all we got. If you use the promo code Underdog Talk, Underdog is spelled UNDWAG. Talk, you get 15% off at christiandewan.com. So we have Miss, I don't like saying Miss and Mr.
Raychell.
Raychell. We got Raychell. And she wrote this book. It's called Take My Life Back. Where were you at in life? What was going on? What was life looking like before you actually took your life back?
So the book is called Own It, Take Your Life Back.
Oh,
No, you're good. And so I didn't even know that I didn't own my own life. Like I didn't even know I needed to take my life back. I didn't know that it wasn't mine. And I think that a lot of people, we don't even realize that we allow life to take over us. So we just get up every day and we just do what we do without being in control of what we do. And so at a very early age, things happen to us, right? That we have absolutely no control over because we're young. We're children. And so we go through life and we experience things. So we have nightmares. You have nightmares, or you maybe not eat certain foods, or you don't like certain things, right? So when you become an adult, you're like, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that. Technically, you might really not like that. It was really something that's embedded inside of you that make you not like something, right?
mm-hmm.
And so I was molested as a child, okay? And I didn't know this at the time, but I fought a lot. Well, hell, I knew that. So, I mean, when I tell you I fought, I mean a physical fight. I'm talking about hair pulling, biting, suspended from school, daddy being called, like, here she is again. And I was like, I fought the world. Like, if I felt threatened, I would just fight. Like, that was the only, I couldn't speak. Like, the only way I could, like, tell you to stop and quit and no was to use my fists, right? So, Own It helped me realize that I was really fighting demons that was inside of me. So I really wasn't fighting Eric. I was fighting the little girl inside of me was defending me. So anytime anybody did anything to me, we was like, let's get them. Because, and it's going to be a little graphic, but being molested, I didn't realize it until I wrote the book. I felt that I was being held down and choked. So, and I couldn't speak and I couldn't respond and I couldn't kick and I couldn't cry. And so when I was able to kick, cry, scream, yell, and swing, that's what I did. So that's what I became. I just became a kicker, screamer, crier. Ah! And so now that she was free, anytime you put me in a corner, I'm going to get you. I'm coming at you just full. And so take your life back is just letting you know that you don't have to defend yourself. You can just go ahead. So it's a self-help book. So it helps people find who they truly are. So if you're like, I'm going to say a bad relationship. And if I'm talking too much and you want me to pause so you can say something, I can.
No, you go ahead, finish.
Okay. So like a lot of people who are broken in bad relationships, right? They're broken. So they're just going, they're just damaged. So they're just going through each relationship, just trash, right? Well, that's because they need to take their life back. They need to own those feelings that they actually don't own those feelings. They think they do, but they don't. And every time somebody do something that brings back that trigger, now they're just coming back in attack mode. However that attack mode is, right? And so once we own our emotions and own how we feel about things and don't let things own us, we can actually react different to things. And that's what the book is about. Just
I love that, because a lot of people don't realize that we don't own our lives. Like, we go to a job, they tell us when to come and go. We come home, our kids tell us when to come and go, and then it's like, okay, I got this last little hour to myself. I'm just going to watch some TV, maybe drink, smoke, go do something that ain't really productive, and you do it all over again for years. And I realized that it took like not a divorce, it was before the divorce. I started going to counseling. And like you said, a lot of stuff that triggers us as adults is from kids. So I realized, like, I wasn't fighting. I wasn't swinging on folks like you. I wasn't out here knocking folks out or nothing. But I would cuss somebody out, like, or I would speak my mind if I felt somebody cross the line. Because with me, people think because my arms are short, they just gonna talk to me. And who are you talking to? No, we're not doing that. You're not gonna disrespect me. You a man like I'm a man. You a woman like I'm a man. Like, we're human. So a lot of times I would do that, and now it's like I just look at people like, you, all right, I see what you want to do. Nah, my energy not even gonna go there. And it took me to realize stuff that happened, nothing as graphic as you, but as like just certain stuff. Like, people, I had a lot of like, oh, we gonna do this, sitting at the door. It wasn't necessarily dad, it was maybe a cousin, maybe, family members, like, oh, we gonna come get y'all. All right. And then it got to the point where I'm just like, all right, I don't trust nobody. I don't even, like, you do one thing, I don't mess with you. And I had to grow up and understand that. So I definitely understand taking your life back and owning it. Like, now, like, man, if I don't want to do nothing, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't got to, because I don't want to. I don't care how you feel. And that's how people have to get to that. And it's not where you're being selfish or mean. It's like you're controlling your life. You're doing what you want to do in life. Like, for me, because I didn't drive, I always would go with my friends. So it was like I was doing stuff that they love to do, I might like to do. And then it got to a point as an adult, I don't want to go here. I want to leave. Let me get a car. Uber? Oh yeah, I'm out of here. I don't even want to be here that long. Or my friends don't even ask me to go nowhere no more, because they know I'm good. And that's when you take your life back. And it might not be going out. It might be whatever. It might be a bad habit you had that you had to overcome and get your life back. Whatever that case may be, you got to figure it out. If you got to go to counseling, if you got to go talk to somebody, go ahead and do that, because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck. And then you're going to blame everybody else. Oh, it's my mama's fault. It's my daddy's fault. No. It's your fault. You've been living off this pain for 20 years. It's your fault. At some point, it's not their fault no more. And that's just the reality of life. Life can suck sometimes. Life is hard, but you got to get over what happens to you. And I salute you for getting over that, because I've talked to people, interviewed, or, know people that's happened to, and it messed them up for life. And like you said, you had to fight. Like, it wasn't even like you look like you're a petite lady, you small, you run up if you want to, I'm gonna knock you out. And it's because
on the tables, it didn't matter.
Yeah, you look.
It didn't matter.
It's funny because the little ones, they be thinking that, okay, all right, try me if you want to. You was just out there, Mike Tyson, folks. So when you realize okay, I need to change, what are some of the things you started to do, what are some of the things you started to do to help you realize, okay, let me get my life back. Let me get back to what I'm doing, or to better my life. Because sometimes when we're going through stuff, we don't realize change is to better us. So what did you start doing?
I got to go back just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through a divorce. So I was married, and I had my beautiful children. We had a beautiful home. And when I left, I was really upset with God. I'm gonna be honest. I was really upset because I felt like I wouldn't have got molested if I didn't have a step parent. And now, mind you, this is a child thinking, right? And so in my head, I'm like, I don't want to have step parents. I don't want to have a step family. And so I was determined to make my marriage, my relationship, through everything work. So between black eyes, I used to wear my hair over my face so people couldn't see because I'm fair skinned, and so you could see it. So I would wear my hair over my face, between busted lips. People would be like, "Raychell, you so clumsy." I would have wrist thing. I broke my hand, like just all the things, right? And finally, I was like, and so God came to me in a dream, and I seen my kids throwing roses on my grave, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And very clearly, God said, "This will happen." And I was like, "This can't be real. Like, this got to be a nightmare or something, right?" And God gave me the dream again. And so I was like, "Well, this is real, God. Then why would you allow?" He's like, "I'm not allowing. I'm showing you. I'm showing you what will happen if you don't leave. I'm showing you so you can leave." And I was like, "But if you're God, then why would you not fix the marriage?" And this is something, and I don't know if this is a Christian show, so guys, sorry if y'all don't listen to me. But I can't tell my story without telling my story. And what we don't understand, and what I didn't understand, and the reason I walked away from God is because of what I didn't understand at the time. We make decisions without asking him first, but then we want him to fix what we get into. And so without calling my children and my whole 12, 15 years of marriage, without calling my beautiful home, without calling my whole life a mistake, because I'm not. But I'm going to have to say that couldn't have been what he told me to do, right? And so when I had to walk away, I was very angry because I had everything I felt like I needed. We had a 5-bedroom home. We had a front yard. We had a backyard. We had vehicles. Coming from being, not really, we really wasn't poor, so I really don't want to say we was poor, but came from a middle upbringing. We had 2 vehicles, like I felt like we was living the best life ever. And you're telling me I have to leave this life? I got to be a single mom of 4 children? 4? Like, if I got to leave, I'm not friends with you no more. Like, if I got to take care of these 4 kids, then I'm not going to do you. And so I turned away from my faith, and I left God, and I left with my children. I was like, I'm out. And I did this thing without God. He was still there, but I wasn't talking to him because we was not friends. We was not friends. And so when I got back into a new relationship, and my husband was into God, and we started back going to church, and I'm still kind of really not talking to him, whatever. We kind of together, we kind of not together. And so he started waking me up in the middle of the night. He was like, "I need to talk with you." And I was like, "We're really still not really friends, but okay." So I was getting up and writing. That's when I started writing the book. And he was like, so I was writing the things that was going on and doing what I supposed to do. But I need to hurry up because I don't want to bore people. So anyway, to make a long story short, as I started writing the book, what was the question?
What are some of the things that you did, like as you was making that turn?
Okay, so yeah, sorry guys, I'm sorry. I was trying to close it in. Okay, so I went back, and so I started getting back into my faith. I left the faith, okay? So when I came back into the faith, God told me, in order to start brand new, I need to clean you up some. I need to clean you up for this new relationship. I need to clean you up for your new journey. So I started writing, and I wrote the book. I wrote my book. And as I wrote the book, God told me to throw it away because it's not for the world. I'm like, "I know you lying." I got up for like months. And he was like, "No, the book was to heal you. The book was only just to heal you. So this book is actually a workbook. My personal book that I wrote, I trashed it because he told me to trash it. He said, now I want you to write a workbook. And the workbook is for my people who don't want to do counseling. My workbook is for people who not ready for people to be in their business yet, but they know that they need to change. They know that there's a change that needs to happen, but they're not ready to go yet. They're still at that, I ain't decided which route I want to go. So they can kind of explore who they are. Because it asks you, one of the questions, I want to say this because it's so important. It asks you to go back, like, what is your best memories, right? So it's triggering things in them. What's your worst? And so they're able to sit down and kind of write things in private and kind of explore who they are by themselves. And then start asking them different things so they can start healing. And so how did I start healing? I started healing through my book, realizing that, wow, I'm really angry because of something that he did to me that everybody have to get to work for. So you did this to me, but Eric got to get to work for it. My husband has to get to work for it. Everybody has to. And I had to realize the world didn't hurt me. So I got to quit starting on 8 with everybody. I got to give everybody on a zero playing field. And if you cross the line, then that's when I go, okay, you crossed the line, then let me treat you accordingly. And what's accordingly to me? Not to you, not to what's accordingly to me. What are my boundaries? You know, we start picking up boundaries and things that people give us, but what's your boundary? What's your limit? What's uncomfortable to me? You know? And that's so important. And so you asked me what did it start? It started with finding out, who am I? Do I like red or do I like blue? You know? Is it okay to hold my hand on the first date or is it not? You know? Like finding out really who you are. Because it's really hard to know where you really want to go if you don't even know who you are. When I married my husband that I have right now, I don't care what anybody else said, and I don't argue with anybody. And one thing I don't do no more, I don't argue with people. I might be a little combative for a minute, and then I make myself be quiet. I don't argue with fools, and I'm not going to argue with you, even if you're not a fool. I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth my time. Okay. So, make a long story short, I wrote my husband down. I didn't say what he needed to look like, but I knew how many kids he needed to have because I had 4. So I knew I didn't want him to have 4. He needed to at least have 2. I know how much income he needed to make because I know how much money I made, and how much money he needed to make. I wrote very specific things that I needed, not in what I needed in a husband. I need him to be strong in these traits because I was not. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I need him to be in this because I am not. When you know what you need, let me tell you something. I think I'm very beautiful. And people think that's conceited, but it's not. Because you need to know who you are. And you need to feel good in your skin. And so when I was single, I had men all the time knocking at my door, trying to be with me. But you know what I knew? I knew what I needed. So when you came to me and you said things I didn't like, it was easy for me to go, no, 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 no. You know why it was so easy? Because I knew what I didn't want. And I knew what I didn't need. But when we see these beautiful, you be like, she's so beautiful, but she with him. You know why? Because she doesn't know what she needs.
That was deep right there, because clarity is the most important thing I learned. That's like one of the first like videos or little studies I did this year, is like, know what you want, who you want to be, and what you want to do. It's not is who you want to be. Like a lot of times people is, oh, I want to be a CEO. I want to have my bit. No, who do you want to be as a person? Because sometimes you might not be able to leave the business to the kids, but you can leave your character traits to your kids. And what you said earlier, God, what somebody say, they said is, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And we'll go and do something. Like you said, we'll go out there and do it. And it ain't going, hey, God, hey. He'd be like, oh, you started, you said you knew what you was doing. You don't need me. Oh, now you need me. Oh, and God, it's like a parent. It's like you tell your kid, don't go across that street now. You know, okay. Then they, Mom, Dad, no, I told you don't go across that street. Now you want me to come save you? No. And you'll gotta give you the same test over and over. You keep doing the same dumb stuff over and over, and then it's them. And then that's crazy. Oh, go ahead, write the book. Yep, wake up every day. All right, God, I'm done. No, you ain't done. Throw that away. Throw it away. What in the world? Like, God is funny, because he'll wake me up in the middle of the night and start to be like, do this. And there's been times where I ain't listened, and I'm like, dang, I should have listened. And I'm like, dang, that was God talking to me. Because sometimes is that God? God, is that you? And God speak to me in a crazy way. It'd be through a random conversation. I'd be like, Okay, I got it. And it's like you got to listen to that. It's kind of like I was sitting here thinking what I want to name the title, and I'm like, I'm gonna just name it whatever, probably after the book or something off of one of those titles. But then it's like unmasking the blueprint. It's like you're given the blueprint of how to get your life back, understanding who you are. Like if you don't know you, listen, if you can't, if you got stuck in the house and it's a snowstorm, you got the food, you got everything, and you can't enjoy yourself, something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with everybody else. Something wrong with you. I will make myself laugh. I will have good conversation with myself. I do all kind of stuff. And then it'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go outside. Like I can sit in the house and not mess with anybody because I love me. My shirt says I love my peace. You can't see it. I ain't gonna stand up because I've been standing up all day. But it says I love my peace. Like I love my peace. If you don't love your peace, like you said, have your boundaries. You. Like I said, call me at 10 if you want to. I'm not gonna answer. You're gonna get a response at tomorrow morning, maybe if I remember. Like, cause I'm going to sleep. I'm trying to go to bed. I don't care what you go to sleep. I don't care. Dude, you ain't giving me no check.
That's my piece. That's my piece.
Yep. And like you said, you a lot of times, oh, I want this in a man. I want this in a woman. That ain't what you need. Because like you said, it's a marriage, a relationship is like a partnership. Somebody got to be good in some area and somebody got to be good in another. You both can't be the same person. If you're the same person, then the team why I don't need you.
I couldn't marry a me.
Oh Lord. I definitely couldn't marry. I need somebody. I'm crazy. I need somebody to tame my crazy because I need
to balance that mess out.
Yeah, I need an introvert. I can't. We can't both be out here. Now you can't be boring though. You definitely can't be boring with me. Like if you boring, nah.
Like hold up. Yeah. Like could you see two of me? What we doing?
We ain't gonna get nothing done. We gonna be roasting folks, talking trash. We ain't nothing gonna happen.
Exactly.
Nothing. And I love that we both can understand. No, I don't need me. Why would I need another me? I don't need another me. I ain't been in a relationship since my divorce, but I know what I need in a woman, and I know what I want in the next relationship and what I don't want. Because when you have that hardship, stuff happens to you, you got to sit back. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. And if you don't treat it like a lesson, you're gonna have that loss again. You're gonna keep being in a relationship. It's their fault. No, it ain't their fault. It's your fault. God said change. You getting the same person. They just look different. You got the dark skin, you got light skin, got the white girl. They all the same person. They just in a different body. And you keep saying it's them. No, it's you. If you got more than two serious relationships in 1 year, you sit down. Sit down.
Sit down.
And this is gonna be a clip because sit down. Like you doing too much. Like how is you jumping from one relationship to the next and you ain't even fix yourself from the last one? I ain't say fix the relationship. I said fix yourself.
Fix yourself.
And that's what you're talking about. Owning who you are, taking your life back. Because when you're in relationships and stuff crazy happen, you want to try to go off okay, they did you dirty. They did that. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, I could have walked away 3 years ago, but I didn't. And then now I've been in this relationship 8 years, and then in 2 months you in a new relationship like it's gonna work. Oh, he don't hit me, so he cool. Oh, okay, all right. If that's what you want to do. I love how you said you got me. I'm about to write after this. I'm about to go write what I need in a woman because I need somebody to help a brother out. But that's a good thing to write what you need. Because sometimes people...
Because because it's easy to write what you want.
Oh, easy.
It's so easy to write what you want. But what do you really need? Because it comes down to what you need. I'm not going to lie. People be like, oh, you did it. I'm like, you can say what you want to say. Because I was molested, I don't have the luxury like you do. I can't date multi men. I don't have the mental for it. Because my brain is like, why he looking at my kids like that? My brain like, you playing a little too long with my kids, right? Why? My brain think different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the mental capacity to have 17 different relationships with different men.
Yeah.
Like I can't. So you gotta know who you are. So I gotta be tuned in. Like, this is what I need from this relationship. This is, so like, and it's true. When you are molested, it messes you up as a person. Like, we got some things wrong with us. Like, why you laughing at my child joke that long? Like, stuff that people like, why she said that? Because I need to know why you laughing like that. Like,
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. It was not that funny. Right. But like I'm saying, but you gotta know. But when you know, what do you do about what you know? Okay, Raychell, sit back. It's this is not an Eric problem. This is a you problem. Don't go over here acting up, because these people don't have nothing to do with. I'm gonna say one thing to the audience too. I want you to really think about when you acting a fool, who really winning. Because let me tell you what I started doing to myself, how I started disciplining myself. Every time when I started realizing I was letting that little girl come out and defend the big girl, I was like, "Ooh, you letting him win again? Ooh, you letting him get on top of you again and make ooh," and that pisses me off, right? And you know how quick I shut my mouth? Fast. See, when you put your own self in check, that's how I took my life back. I had to realize you letting this little girl run your grown self. You letting this little girl run out and run your life. Because I want you to know, what do you sound like in your 40-year-old, 30-year-old body cussing out people? I just want to know, do you sound like an adult? You blah, 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 blah. What do you look like, a fool? Your arms flapping? You're acting crazy? I mean, I want you to really think about what you look like and what you're acting like. Because you're not acting like an adult. So I had to check myself, take my life back. Is that really what I want to do? I love the little girl. I love her. Because all she's trying to do is protect me. She didn't protect. She feel like she didn't protect herself when he did that to us. And so now she comes out anytime and she protects us. Okay? And so I gotta be like, it's okay. The big girl got us. We okay. We don't have to fight every battle. We don't have to use our words. It's okay. And so take your life back. And I want to say one more thing too. When I hear adults talking about, well, because my mama or my daddy said, stop. Take your life back. There's a point and there's a time when you no longer can blame your mama or your daddy or your lack of not having. You have to take ownership. I'm taking my life back. I'm owning my life. I am determining how I speak to people and how I talk to people, how I drive traffic, all of that.
Hey, listen, I feel you, because I've grown up a lot, because I'm not Eric from 938 Henry Street. Because it's been times just teaching where I'm like, oh, okay, y'all about to bring out the nigga in me. Like, I ain't even about to be Mr. Jones in here. I'm about to be E from around the way. Like, and it's not no physical, just like verbal. Like, you're not gonna, like, that's what we doing. And it's like, nope. It's that energy, you wasting energy on that person, because guess what? I could win the argument, things could go my way, they still gonna be that same person. They might do it again, they gonna do it to somebody else. Oh well, they ain't gonna do it to me no more. And sometimes you gotta handle it in a way where you not being your old you, or being a nigga, or whatever you want to call the person inside you that'll cut somebody out, that'll swing on somebody. And I hate that. And especially us, like, oh, I'm gonna cuss her out. I'm gonna cuss. Why? What does that solve? And it makes me
feel so much better.
Yeah, I cuss.
You make me feel so much better.
No, look, I'm gonna give you a good example. I was a basketball coach this year. Got into it with some fans, used a couple 4-letter words, and I ended up getting fired. Yeah, because the old me came out and didn't realize. In that minute, 2 minutes, old me came out and I lost. Boom, season gone. And I'm like, dang. And I had to learn that lesson. Like, yeah, you should have. And I knew I was wrong, and I apologized to the girls and all that. I had to take responsibility because, like you say, you got to check yourself. I could have been like, oh man, skip them. Them people. No, you was wrong. You can't.
I was wrong.
Yeah. I wasn't a bad coach. I was a bad person.
And that, no, you wasn't a bad. You was a bad person for the moment.
For the moment, yeah, I was a bad person in that moment because it was like the girl. You could go out. No, that's a great coach. But in that moment, I wasn't, and it cost me my job, and it could cost you your job. Sometimes it could cost you your life, especially road rage nowadays. Go ahead, cut somebody out. You don't know what Brenda got in that car. You don't know what, especially Tim. Oh, all right, and they shoot nowadays. So it's like you got to control that, and you look dumb. Cussing people out looks dumb. Like I cuss in general and talking, but I'm not cussing at nobody. I'm not cussing them out. Like, oh, I'm gonna cuss that B out. Man, if you don't sit your grown self down. Like, what are you talking about? You look like the dummy. Do you win? That's like you said. Oh, I can't wait to chop this up because I was sitting there like, oh, I'm ready to put this. Might skip a couple people. I'm sorry, but this might skip a couple people because you was talking like you look silly, cussing people out, wanting to fight past.
You really do.
21, 25, 25.
You really do.
Like it's times where you might have to lay hands. If they cross the line, they touch a kid, your mama, something, you might have to. But if you don't have to, walk away. Because we see too many of us dying over stupid stuff, or most people can't shoot and they shoot the wrong person. And that's a whole nother podcast episode about people who can't shoot. But you gotta.
I'm licensed to carry. So let me let you know that little person gonna always be carrying. So I ain't gonna say nothing to you. But if you cross the line, I got something for you though.
You cross that line, she got something for that behind. She ain't playing with you.
I'm too old for that. Yeah, I'm not playing with nobody, and I don't start no mess either.
Yep. And look, what you were saying about blaming parents. I think I said this maybe an episode ago. I never blamed my mom for me being born with a disability. I never said, oh, it's your fault. None of that. You can't blame your parents because everything you go through ain't for you. It's for everybody else. Like you had to go through, write that whole book. All right, throw that away. That was for you. For me, now I got to write something else. Okay. And I didn't realize till I was 30, like, okay, I was born with this disability to help other people. Oh, I get it. Oh, that's why I talk a lot. Oh, okay. It makes sense. But God, really, I had to go through all that. And everything. And even like with the divorce, starting all over with nothing. God, you couldn't have left me nothing, a couple something, nothing. And that's where, in that moment when I had nothing and I had to understand it's just me and only me and God to bounce back, I had to check what you doing? You ain't got nothing. You can't talk to no women. What you talking? Nope. You need it. Nope. Don't even do that. And that's how life is. You have to really like check yourself. If you don't check yourself, why are you checking somebody else? You'll check everybody else, but you won't check you.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm just saying.
It's the truth, though.
You gotta go look in that mirror. You gotta go look in the mirror, look yourself, and check yourself. I've done it plenty of times. Like, what you doing, bro? What the hell are you doing? You know you ain't supposed to be over here doing this. You should have been doing that. And when you do that, you like, okay, you're right. Or you celebrate. I'm not big on holidays, birthdays, because they weren't big for me. I didn't really get a lot, so I'm not big on it. But people be celebrating. You've been complaining all year, but then these people come to your party, but they ain't come for your help when you needed somebody. But you cool hanging out with them and partying, drinking and smoking, and shaking your booty. That don't make sense. They can go give the club some money, but when you needed some money, they couldn't give you no money. Make it make sense, people. This is a good conversation. We had a good conversation before, but some people ain't gonna like us probably a little bit, like, because this is this is real conversation. That's what Underdawg Talk is. Like, I want people to listen, because I'm sitting here listening to you like I should have had my notebook, because you was talking to me. You hit me with an uppercut or two, and I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. And that's what it's about. Like, real talk. Like, this is a conversation people need to listen to, especially, you was talking to some people. I know my face showed it. So, give people 3 tips of how they can take their life back. Like when they listen to this episode, they like, all right, if I do these things, this will help me.
He said something earlier, and I think the first thing, and it's acknowledge what you don't like about your life. And I know the first thing you're gonna say is those people, but I want you to stop for a second. My beautiful people. Okay. Since I was little, people call me conceited. You know why? Because people call me ugly first. Okay. And so I always had these buck teeth. Okay. And they say I was always skinny with buck teeth. And so in order for me to have confidence, I always said, but I'm beautiful though. But I'm beautiful though. And so I've said it for so long, I don't just say it, I believe it. Like I think I'm just gorgeous. Like I don't when somebody say call me ugly, I'm offended. Like where? Like where? Like who's ugly? Like where? So I need you to look at yourself, your gorgeous, your beautiful self. And I want you, and this is going to be hard, but what you don't like about that job or that situation, I want you to see yourself in it. And I want to break it down because I want to make sure that you're understanding what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, Eric? So let me break it down. Yeah, because Eric's like, So let's use traffic because I'll make it super easy. You know how you get ready in the morning, you're looking so gorgeous and you're getting all your stuff together and you get in the car and you're like, get out the way because I'm about to be late. Stop. I am about to be late. Who is the I? The I is you, right? So you're about to be late. So I want you to look at your beautiful self in the mirror and decide how can you stop from being late every day. Every problem that you have, I promise you, if you take the I in it and you fix the I, your life is going to be so much better. And I want to give another one because I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm saying. Oh my God, my husband, he just get on my nerve. Let me give you an example. He keeps the toilet seat up. I don't know. My husband keeps the toilet seat up. He keeps the toilet seat up. Okay. So when you go in the restroom, go, I'm pretty sure the toilet seat going to be up when I get in there. And you just put the toilet seat down and just smile when you put it down. Do you see how you changed the mindset of how you felt about the toilet seat being down? Because you yelling for the last 7 years did not change the toilet seat from going down. You yelling for the last 7 years did not change the toilet seat from going down. But what you did do, you caused wrinkles on your forehead. Because if you're not going to leave your marriage, quit yelling at your spouse. It's making you old. It's making your blood pressure go up. It's making you unhappy. Take the you in everything and make it the I. And how you're going to change everything in your life is just the I. The first thing you're going to do is find out everything that you can change within everything. If it's your kids, what are your kids doing? I don't know if I do CBD coffee. If you like CBD coffee, your kids getting up every morning, get up a little bit earlier, sip on your CBD coffee, do you some yoga, go in your prayer closet, whatever you need, because I promise you, if you figure out what it is that's stressing you out and you change it within yourself, your life going to be easier. That's number 1. 2, once you figure it out, write it down. Get you some little sticky notes and write you a note and go, I'm not going to say that again. I'm not going to, whatever it is, let's do traffic. I'm not going to cuss in the car. I'm going to put on whatever the song is, right? So if you know that when you get to work, you be aggressive, put on the opposite of aggression. If you have on, move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way. When you get to work, you'll be like, move, bitch, get out the way. It's common sense. So put on, give me something, Eric. Put on
some gospel. Put on some motivation.
Put on something else. So now when you're at work, you're going to work tiptoeing. I am beautiful, so beautiful. So now you have a whole different mindset when you go into the job. So nothing is really bothering you as much, and nothing has changed but you, baby. Nothing has changed but your posture and yourself, right? I'm trying to tell you, the moment that you take your life back and you change your mindset and you see life differently, you experience life differently. I stay at home all day. I am a social influencer. You know why? Because I spoke it. I owned a daycare for 13 years. I go, I'm going, when I closed the daycare for the pandemic, I said, I'm just going to sit at home and live my best life. And that's exactly what I do. I go into people's inboxes, me some of my birthdays. I sing people. I can't sing a note. And I be like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I swear to God, I am not lying. I am so annoying. But you know what? I like it. Everybody like it. I ain't been blocked yet. Eric, when your birthday comes in your inbox, I'm like, hey, happy birthday. Right? And so 3 things. Figure out what you don't like. Find the I, which is you, and fix it. And write it down. And I said write it down. Habakkuk 2:2 said write the vision and make it plain. Write it down. Write yourself some sticky notes. And I promise you, it's going to be so much better. Because that's what I do.
I love every minute of that because it's all true. Because I've done it. I ain't nothing I read, ain't nothing I seen on the movie. I've done those things. Found out what I didn't like about myself. All right. Got sticky notes, got notes all over the place. Like, check myself. Like, all those things you have to do. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. If you want a change in you have to put in the work. You can't wait for a miracle. You got to be your own miracle. You can't wait. Oh, well, my man's, he about to go to the league. I know once he go to the league, that's your man's. That's your man's going to the league. So if your man's going to the league, what do he need that you can do? So then he can pay you and be on payroll. Then you can build relationships. Ooh. Now you building your own stuff. LeBron, all his homies. You think LeBron the only one rich? They all rich because they all do something he need. And then I'm at the billionaire house. Come on, crew, we going here. Oh yeah, these my guys. Boom, boom, boom. He do this, and that. If you want to change, work on you. So I need a quote. It could be your quote you saw, something you seen, something you live by, but I need a quote from you.
Habakkuk 2:2. I got to throw my plug in real quick. So y'all, I am a strategy coach. Hit your girl up if you need a strategy coach. I am the creator of the Dream Plan Do Planner. I make Vision Board Manifestation Planners. And on my planner is Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain. I believe in it. Steve Harvey said it. Oprah Winfrey said it.
God said it.
They all done said it. And guess what? I am a believer. I've been doing this since 2019. I started in 2018. And it's true. If you write the vision and make it plain, you know where you're going. That's why I was a life coach at first. And I realized I like being a strategy coach. You know why? Because I can help you in every aspect of your life. I love being a strategy coach because I can help you with that vision, the real vision. I can help you strategize it and put a pen to paper and make it happen. I love it. Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain.
Hey, like you know how we was talking about God talking, that it's a couple things that you done said and write it down, make it plain. Like, I got it. You see the vision board, the green, I don't know, this side.
I do see it.
That's my vision board. Y'all see Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's either me dressing up real nice or me actually finding a woman in 2023. I don't know. But
I love it.
When you said write it down, make it plain, put a date on it. Don't forget to put that date. Because when you put that date, that put a little urgency in what you wrote down. Because I did that. I do that often, but the first year I did it, I wrote everything down. Everything on that list happened. And I was like, oh. And I I got for my podcast, for my speaking, for my personal. Like, you can't just write down. You gotta write it down for everything that you're doing, and find out who you are. Find out who you are, because if you don't have clarity, if you're not clear on who you are and what you want, you're gonna have the same year you had last year. It ain't gonna be a new year, new you. It's gonna be new year, same you.
Same year. That's how this was created. Because I realized I had went to a vision board party, and I was like, well, how do you go from the vision to reality? Like, how do you make the vision board into reality? I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. And so I made my own planner. I was like, okay. Because like you said, if you don't really put a date on it, and it doesn't have to be a date as in like next week. So I'm just give you an example of a book. So let's say you want to write a book. You can put, I'm going to write a book in June, but you put a date on it, you know? And then when June come, okay, now it's June. I'm going to write a book in June every 2 hours of a day, or on Tuesdays at such and such time. Because now you have when you're going to write it, what day you're going to write it, and what time you're going to write it. And that's how reality happened. But saying, I'm going to Bora Bora. I'm going to Bora Bora. I'm going to Bora Bora. You ain't never going to Bora Bora if you don't put that vacation together. You're just going to continually always want to go. Like I was doing a little genie. You said I had my ponytail. But it's never going to happen. So, Eric, you're so right. And thank you for having me on the show. This was amazing.
No problem. Thank you for being on, because I knew from the conversation that we had after your show, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely got to have her on. It's going to be a good conversation. So let everyone know how they can reach you on the internet, social media, however, people reach you.
So my name is Raychell Penns. My website is RaychellPenns.com. Why my voice decided to go out? Hold up. RaychellPenns.com. If you forget to find me or anything, just go to my website. I have a podcast after this at 8:00. Okay, and my voice want to go out. So I have a new podcast that's gonna be on Wednesdays. We're gonna be talking about CBDs and hemp oils. So if anybody who's listening is educated, I need some education. I don't know if you're educated, Eric, but I want to educate the people, because they really think that CBD and hemp is weed, or they think that it's drugs, and it's really not.
Yeah.
It helps with inflammation and seizure. It helps with so much stuff. So I really want to get the word out. I'm not that educated, so y'all, I'm just the host, okay? But so anyway, RaychellPenns.com. You can find me on all platforms. Don't be laughing at me, Eric. I am the creator of the Vision Board Planner. I am a strategy coach. I have written several books. You can find them on Amazon or on my website. What else I do? I have a podcast called Unmasking the Blueprint. You can find me there. I have a lot of new stuff coming up too. But you got to follow me. Find out. RaychellPenns.com. Follow your girl.
I love it. I love your energy and everything. I appreciate you coming on, because like I said, I have people come on, not just for the audience, for myself to also learn. So you definitely helped me out, more so of confirmation on stuff of what I wrote down or done, like how the beginning of the year started. So appreciate it. And I ain't gonna lie, you might move up in the recordings, because this is a good episode and I think people need to hear this. I don't know anything about, I got a CBD spray that I like, because I got shoulder pains or if my knee, and I spray it and it works. So I don't know too much about it. If I do, I will send them your way. Closing words, but closing words we about to go, closing words, not trying to rush, because we both got something to do after. So I need some closing words from you, Minister Penns.
Thank you for having me on the show, guys. Y'all have a very blessed day. No weapons formed against y'all shall prosper. You can do all things if you put pen to paper. And you know what? They say you have not because you ask not.
And on that note, peace, one love. I'm the underdog with the heroic heart. I'm Eric Jones Jr. I have to keep pushing for my kids. If I give up, what's that leave them with? Nothing. I have to understand that it's bigger than me. That it's not about me when I wake up and go to work. It's not about me when I'm reading and educate myself. It's not about me when I'm practicing my speeches. It's not about me. It's about my family.